Oh, Salmonan. Hey, trigger warning, trigger alert, triggered. Labantu lababa nama trauma nan. Angicela nje nibe bababs ngoba ngizoba triggered. I'm talking about men cheating versus women cheating. I'm talking about the fact that men and women are not the same. Guys, men and women are not the same. So this is where it comes from. So I'm at gym this morning, and I'm training my legs and I'm squatting, and there's these two, I don't want to use the word couple, but it's a male and a female training together. But multi-couple, but it was a male and female, and they're training together, and they're squatting next to me, you know. And I know this guy, so I keep greeting him, if it's Ukraine, you know, and we're squatting. And I'm seeing the sister matching his weights. You know, so they obviously start with the bar, and then they both train at the bar, and then they add 10 on each side, and she does that. And then she adds like a 20 on each side. And then I go, damn, Lucisi is strong. I say that. And this guy, as a machita, a simp, a machita now says, yeah, but I can squat double that. And I go, oh, okay. Like, you know, but it doesn't take away her strength. And all things remaining constant, she's actually stronger. And he's like, what do you mean by that? I'm like, well, you've got testosterone, you man, so we understand what testosterone does physically. You know, you got stronger bones, you know, you can build muscle a lot easier than females because of testosterone. She's got estrogen, yet for now, she's matching your weights. I'm like, that's crazy strong. Nah? At that time, this is where our sisters shoot themselves in the foot. Hey, what's this mate? Hey. Sisters make me tired at times. So she takes this compliment, né? But then she says, yes, I can do anything a man can do. No, you can't. You're very strong for a sister. Appreciate. I'm not saying, Oguti, in the world as it is right now, you are as strong as this guy. I said, should things remain constant? Should she have the same amount of testosterone that he has? You know, like then we can start talking, you know. However, it's not the same. It can't be the same. Because if you guys continue to squat, he will out-squat you because you guys are different. And she's like, no, in today's time, women are... And then she starts giving me like 1 in a million examples as how sisters would do. 1 in a million. Yeah, but there's also this bodybuilder and this powerlifter. I was like, no, you're a normal chick, he's a normal gent. A scaling average on average, you know. And then the conversation went to other things because, again, I was saying, and I kept on saying, men and women aren't the same. Then she spoke about workplace. Then she spoke about... It moved to relationships. Because now I feel the need to engage in this because I'm trying to explain to you, guys, the reason why in society right now we are so lost is because we constantly want to compete and constantly want to prove that we are the same. We are not the same. We are not the same. I've said this 1,000 times. It is an eagle, the female, competing and comparing herself to a shark, the male. It's two different creatures with two completely different strengths, with completely different weaknesses. So again, if a fish is going to judge herself by how, an eagle, my apologies, if an eagle, the female, is going to judge herself based on how good she will swim, she will always lose to the man. And if the man, who's the shark, is going to judge himself on how good he can fly, then he'll always lose to the female. Let us stop thinking that we're the same. We are not the same. Conversation moves on to everyday life, you know. And then I use an extreme example. And I say, look, just to prove that we're not the same. And society doesn't see us the same. If you were to slap him, you attacking him, and then he slaps you back, right? And she's talking about equality. She slaps him as hard as she can. He then slaps her back. How will society view this? Society will call this GBV. 100%. 100% on principle, society will say, this man is wrong. That's what society will say. If we were to post the video of her slapping him and then him slapping back, he's the one that's going to get cancelled. He's the one that's going to get fired. He's the one that's going to be called all types of labels, a woman abuser, etc., etc., etc. Therefore, even society can agree. Then she says, oh, but that's just because he's physically stronger. The whole conversation started from there, sister. It all started from there. Here's the thing, and this is what I'm always trying to say. how your makeup is internally will obviously show externally. Does that make sense? The more I have estrogen, the more it will express itself outside. I'll have titties, I'll have this, I'll have that. You can see the more, if I take testosterone and I inject it into a sister, you'll start seeing her voice will start to deepen. She'll start getting a beard. She'll start having masculine features. We know this. Estrogen, by the mere hormone, it allows females to be more attentive. It allows females to be more empathetic and more sympathetic. It allows females to be more patient, more understanding. That is why if we go into the world of psychology, there's more females there. That is why if we go into schooling, especially the lower and the younger the kids are, the why that says more females, because it requires a person who is more understanding, who's more nurturing, who's more empathetic, who's more understanding. And that comes with estrogen. That comes with estrogen. What comes with testosterone? The physical build. What comes with testosterone? Being aggressive, being impatient. What comes with testosterone? Being more stoic and objective when it comes to things. Being able to detach a human experience from the actual reality. That's why you've got more men in the STEM field. You've got more men in engineering. You've got more men in the army because of our build, our makeup, our whole entire makeup. Now, going back to the triggering point about cheating. Guys, in a relationship, akfani. Again, you take an average man and an average female. When they meet each other at the club or at the park, whatever, né? If everything was perfectly the same, if everything was equal, then she would approach him with the same energy that he approaches her. If everything was equal, what happens? What happens? You guys have been to clubs. You guys have been to spaces. What happens? She waits for him to approach her. She might at best look at him for an extra second, you know, but he still needs to come to her. He needs to hunt and go to her. He needs to make that first aggressive step towards her. We get this. And then she is the one with all the power dynamics of saying, "Oh, Puti, oh, Puti, I don't want to chat with you. Hey, sorry, I'm occupied. Hey," but he needs to risk everything. Where's the equality there? There's no equality. All right, sharp. Now, again, I'm generalizing. So at the club, and then who offers who a drink? Generally speaking, he has to offer her a drink. He has to cover that bill. Generally speaking, right? We get that. There's a power dynamic as well there. There's a power dynamic. You know, who, generally speaking, is the gatekeeper of sex? Generally speaking. You know, again, if the guy goes home and with this lady, and then the guy says, "Hey, you know what? I actually don't feel like it." The guy's going to be labeled gay, he's going to be labeled a loser, a simp, or he's so weak. He's going to have all these negative connotations if he takes this lady home and then decides, while in the bedroom, "I actually no longer want to do this." Generally speaking, for the average person. But if the roles reverse and she says, "Actually, I don't want anything," should he continue to press, he'll be labeled a rapist, he'll be labeled Wamkohesa, he'll be all these negative. Where is it equal? Then we get into the dynamics of relationship. It is not equal. The reason why it's not equal, generally speaking, is because a female, if you go to the average female and you say, "Would you like to be able to just, if you had to choose to build this man, would you want a man who's taller than you, or a man who's your height, or a man who's shorter?" Most females I know would say they want a taller man. You go to the same female and you say, "Financially, do you want a guy who earns less than you, the same with you, or significantly more?" She'll say, so, all right, where is it? The way in which the whole makeup between men and female is not the same. It is not equal. Yet we're going around talking about equality here, equality. Whoopee. It cannot make sense. It doesn't make sense. Now you guys are in a relationship. Now this is where you need to take out your trauma and pain from your past and actually think about it logically. When a woman steps out of a relationship and she cheats, versus when a man steps out of a relationship and he cheats, we have agreed as society that it tends to be for different things. It tends to be that the man in this relationship is not being attentive to the sister's needs, emotionally, financially, or physically. He is not being attentive to her needs. So then she goes out seeking for attention. She goes out seeking for that validation externally. We have said thousands of times as a society that when a woman steps out, she's already made up her mind about that she's no longer wants to be part of this relationship. When a woman steps out, there's a level of emotional attachment that she has with the guy that she's stepping out on the outside. We've had these conversations. When a man steps out, The boy is on heat. Ukanyelu boy, he wants to bust a nut because he is selfish and wants to have he wants to have all the cakes and eat them as well. But for the most part, not all the time, most of the time, he's not emotionally attached to her. It's not Wuti at home whose sister is not attentive to him financially. It's not. So we've had these discussions ad nauseum that men step out and women step out for different reasons. Therefore, when you hear this dumb-ass lines that I've heard 1,000 times, oh, if he can cheat, then I can cheat. Akfani. That's like me saying, well, if she can slap me, I can slap her. Akfani. We are built to handle these things differently. We all agree that physical violence, physical abuse is wrong, regardless of who hits who. We all agree psychological, emotional, mental, financial abuse is wrong. We all agree on that. I'm just saying it's not the same. I'm saying a female slapping me is wrong. We all agree with that. I'm saying with you, however, me slapping a female is worse. That is what I'm saying. I'm saying with you, because of how females have been built by God, they can handle certain pains better than men. Does that mean that men need to go out and cheat left, right, and center? No, it does not. Does that mean I'm justifying why men need to cheat? No, it does not. I'm not justifying it. I'm agreeing it is wrong. I'm saying men shouldn't do it. However, a man cheating and a woman cheating is not the same. A woman is empathetic. A woman is patient. A woman is nurturing. She has all the skills. What do men do? What happened? Dumb as fuck. Why? Because he was led by his smaller head. He was led by his smaller head. Females tend to be very, very strategic. They will be surgeons when they come to planning about their cheating. They know exactly. That's why females are so tough to get caught. Whereas men, they're so clumsy. Men are so clumsy. They're going around tearing a plastic next door because they're clumsy. Therefore, again, our makeup is different. Our makeup is not the same. Whether you're talking about men cheating in the islands of Fiji or men cheating in Europe, it's the same thing. Men are clumsy, women tend to be very strategic. Why? Because we are not the same. We ended up speaking about parenting. Excuse me. An example I say, take a couple, a normal average couple that has normal average jobs, and they have a child. Let's say for some reason they both wake up at the exact same time, and whatever the case may be, they have this discussion and they say, look, we actually are not meant to be together. And then they separate. Two good guys, a good female, a good male, and then they decide to separate. Legally, where's the child going to go? Where's the child going to go? Legally, if you've ever been to any sort of a child court, whatever, you know full well that primary custody is going to be given to the mother. Even if the father out-earns the mother, even if the father has a better living situation than the mother, legally, if the woman just has a roof over her head and has a standard job, she'll be given primary custody. When Anna, you'll see your child 4 days out of 30. That's 2 weekends in a month. That's the access that you'll have legally as a secondary caregiver. Is the law fair? We can justify it. We can say, but you know, okay, sure. So we've agreed with Akfani, and therefore women get certain privileges. Okay, sure. She fought, she got the child, she was primary caregiver. Now let's go into the dating market. I'm a dad with the child, she's a woman with the child. Is the dating market going to be the same? Of course it won't. Why? Because we've agreed. I have four days out of the 30 with the child. That means I'll be living alone for 26 days. Therefore, dating, a sister coming into my place, is going to be very different because she'll have sole access to me for 26 days out of 30. Flip the script. She wants to date, but she lives with her child for 26 out of the 30 days that she chose, and she had the legal system support her. Now a man must come into that space because clearly she can't leave her child out of like 2 weeks dating, leave the child and go, no. Oh, but it's so unfair. Oh, boo. You want your cake and eat it too as females. Females want to use feminism as a buffet. Oh, I like that right when it goes. Oh, I like that right. Oh, I like that. Oh, I like that. Oh, I don't want to. No, I don't want that. No, we can't have equal pay. I want equal pay, but when it comes to paying for a date, no, he has to pay. Oh, I want this, but when it comes to, no, he has to. We can't have that. Let's just agree that we are not the same. Let's just agree on that. And then once we do that, then I can say your strengths are to cover my weaknesses and my strengths are to cover your weaknesses. Understand, Wuti, if you do something to hurt me, based on how I'm built, I will adjust very differently than if the roles were reversed. The way that I can take emotional abuse is very different than how a female can take emotional abuse. The way that I can take physical abuse is very different than how a female can take physical abuse. It is all different based on our makeup. Generally speaking. Hey, bazalwane. Hey. Because I'm sitting there, I'm trying to break this thing down. I'm breaking it down. What is Sisi? You who slept with 10 celebrities, aka Casper Nyovest, ban. That is not an accomplishment. But a guy, you as an average girl who slept with 10 different celebrities, you just wipe and away clap you and then they just busted and not they forgot your name. But if a guy is able to say, well, I've been with DJ Zinhle, I've been with Tumini Dlamini, I've been with the boy, if he can say he's been an average guy, we step back and we go, is he that average? Why? Because we understand that the man has to go out there and hunt. Whereas a woman, she just needs to stand and just pat her eyelids and hopefully Untanga's going to come through. Come on, man. Come on, man. It's not the same. Society has told us this time and time again. And it's always the younger, clumsier people that think it's the same. And once we get to certain ages, once we start hitting our later 30s, our earlier 40s, all of a sudden we're like, hey, hold on. This is not the same. Actually, when I look at a partner, I need to have a partner whose strengths cover my weaknesses so that my strengths can cover her or his weaknesses. As we get older, all this bullshit that society has fed us, we start realizing, what's hey, no. I can't believe in this. This thing is actually twat. Guys, man. Take away your emotions, take away your trauma. Generally speaking, just look at the world out there. Look at the world out there. Anyway, many of you guys will get triggered and disagree, and that's okay. Please just respectfully write in the comments what your thoughts may be. I'm not justifying any negative act. I'm not justifying any sort of abuse at all. It disgusts me just as much as it disgusts you. I was just trying to give a understanding based on my viewpoint. You might have a different one. Let me know in the comments below, guys. Please share this video far and wide. Subscribe, hit that notification bell, and have yourselves a fantastic day. And Tanda.